two, one. Damn.
It's you coming for me for that shit to happen.
Yeah,
All right.
Let me close this window.
Right, you got the window open, Nate.
Be for real, bro.
This microphone.
I
Let
is
me
do
picking
too.
just
up.
let me just go ahead and.
Oh, you got yours too?
It's hot. Maybe I should just turn the AC on. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. I'll start us. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to the Black Menaces podcast. I'm your host Rachel Weaver, and I'm here with my other host,
Nate Bird, happy to be on the show, and we got some dope guests for y'all. The rest of the Black Menaces, we're all
Yes.
here, and it's our year anniversary episode. We're very excited about it.
Yes, I don't think we've ever had an episode with all of us on. We've had over this year, we've had different people on at different times, but not all 5 at once. So this will be a special treat and interesting to get us all to shut up to make one person talk because we talk over each other. So I'm interested to see how this goes. But y'all want to say hello, everybody?
Hello. Do you want us to say our name?
Yes.
It's Kylie. Hi, everyone.
Hey guys, I'm Kenithia, feeling groovy.
Oh my goodness.
Hello, I am Sebastian. I love you and miss you all very much.
Yes. So far 1 year. Sorry, I'm gonna let Nate go with the minutes moment. I almost forgot. Go ahead.
Okay, good. And just to clarify, this is 1 year of the podcast. Black Menaces are coming up on a year and a half in August? It'll be a year and a half mark.
Yes.
But yeah, with Black Menaces have been a thing since February of 2022. And the podcast started June 2022. So this is our year anniversary of the podcast. So yeah. And let's see here. So I got the Menace moment this week. And it's actually a little bit different because it is the last week of AAPI or hold on, I gotta look it up now. AANHPI Heritage Month because they done switched it up. It's the last week of AANHPI Heritage Month, and so I wanted to just do a little bit of a history about the origins of said month. So in 1977, New York Representative Frank Horton introduced a House Joint Resolution 540, which proposed proclaiming the first 10 days of May as Asian Pacific American Heritage Week. And then Hawaii Senator Daniel Inouye introduced a similar joint resolution that same year, and the resolutions did not pass. Big surprise, because, the racism. Anyway, Representative Horton introduced the House Joint Resolution 1007 the next year, which requested the president to proclaim a week during the first 10 days of May, starting in 1979, including May 7th and 10th as Asian Pacific American Heritage Week. So after that was passed in the House and the Senate, President Jimmy Carter signed it into public law on October 5th, 1978. And then from 1980 to 1990, each president passed annual proclamations for Asian Pacific American Heritage Week. And then in 1990, Congress expanded the observance from a week to a month, and May was annually designated as that month, starting in 1992 under George H.W. Bush. And then it was renamed AAPI Heritage Month in 2009. And I guess I'm not sure if it's been officially renamed, but I know it's being expanded to highlight more. So AANHPI stands for Asian American and Native Hawaiian / Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Yes, that's officially this year.
Okay, so officially as of this year. So a lot of things haven't been updated. But yeah, so they just started to acknowledge Pacific Islanders, Asian Americans, and Native Hawaiians. And who knows, maybe that will expand a little bit more. But it's important because now has been an the last few years have been an interesting time for race and racism, and there have been a lot of events surrounding racism towards Black people, and there have also been a lot of events surrounding anti-Semitism, and then also anti-Asian hate, which took a big escalation during the pandemic because a certain president, who shall remain unnamed, decided to blame Asia for that, and it just kind of spread. And so it led to an uptick in hate crimes. And so we've seen that end of it, but then we've also seen a lot of significant advancements within Asian American, Pacific Islander, Native Hawaiian culture. There's a lot of people out doing big things within the Asian diaspora, right? So there was like a few examples here. Kamala Harris became the first Asian American vice president, woman of color vice president, woman vice president, and Black American woman vice president. So she just took all the titles. And then in film history, we recently saw the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once almost sweep the Oscars, right? They won so many different awards because it was such a great movie. And a lot of Asian actors and actresses from that movie were able to take home big awards, which is very significant because that's never been done before. Bong Joon-ho, who is the director of Parasite, he won an Academy Award for that recently. And then Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings came out in 2021, which was Marvel's first Asian superhero. So Asian American Pacific Islanders are becoming more, I don't know if I don't want to use the word mainstream, but awareness about their contributions to the culture are expanding, right? So it's important that we celebrate AANHPI Heritage Month. And I'm looking forward to, in future years, like I'm just kind of learning about it. But I'm looking forward to in future years being able to like expand my knowledge of that and do things to celebrate. Because the last thing I want to do is like, I don't know, if there ever is a TikTok page called the Asian Menaces and they come interview me and say, what do you do to celebrate AAPI Heritage Month? I'm like, I don't really do anything. And I don't want to be that guy. So I'm trying to expand my knowledge. But yeah, so that's the Menace moment for this week. Just a little bit of history about AANHPI Heritage Month.
Beautiful. Okay, let's kind of go around, have some people give some updates for the listeners, just because I don't know what y'all knew last time you talked to us or what's going on. And you can choose whatever you want just because everyone is officially graduated or almost graduated. And so you can talk about how things have been this last year for you or what your plans are or whatever. I don't know. Just give an update to the people. We'll start with you, Sebastian, since you're closest to me.
Wow, pressure's on me. Okay. Yes. Well, I'm back. It's May 2023, about to be June 2023. I'm about to graduate this summer, so I'm very happy to be done with BYU. It was not per se my favorite location in the world, nor my favorite school. And maybe you got that.
What?
I know, it's really shocking, actually. I know I showed a lot of love towards BYU. But some updates in my life. Let's see. I'm reading a lot of books again this year. I'm on book like 15, I think, this year.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I'm headed to beat my previous year's record, which was like 23, I believe. So I'm reading a ton, which is always good. I love reading, if you know a little bit about me. I've been good. I've been on like a very strict workout schedule lately, so I've been working out a ton, eating much healthier, which has been good too. No crazy updates, I would say. I'm going all around the world this year. So I'm going to Mexico to the DR. I'm going to Europe. I'm going to Brazil.
Oh, he said post-grad. He said post-grad.
International. Period.
What can I say?
I'm using that passport.
Yeah, I'm like the black pit bull. You hear me? So call me Mr. Worldwide.
No.
Anyways, so yeah, I'm good though. I've been good. I've been grinding. School is working me. I'm not gonna lie to you. So yeah.
What about job looking like? You got all the fun things. Where's the hard stuff? I'm about to be your mom right now. Where's the
Yes, jobs. They're going good. I have one I can start on Monday, matter of fact. And it'll be cool. But I'm actually hoping to get this one job that I'm applying to right now. I've had 2 interviews. My final interview's tomorrow. So if the Black Menace luck is on my side, I'll get that job and actually start that one. which is a little more preferred. It pays a little less, but it's fully remote. So it'll work a little bit better with all my vacations and all the other random stuff I'm doing. So, yes.
Okay, Kenny, you're next on my screen, so I'm going to you.
Okay. So I just graduated. My diploma is in the mail. It's coming.
Oh,
Done.
Yay.
It feels so freeing know that I have my diploma now and they cannot take it. Wait, they can't take it from me, right?
No.
Nope,
They
not once you
cannot
get
take
it.
it from me now. Like I feel like I'm like living like I could live my true authentic self.
Right.
Like I don't have to be all secretive about if I bring a boy over or something like that. Like I'm thriving. I'm genuinely thriving. Like I don't even have to I don't even need to post random stuff on my private story now. I'm like, what? Why am I not keeping this private now? You know, like it's really crazy.
I know the feeling.
I'm so excited. Anyway, but yeah, I just graduated. I do not have a job yet. I just graduated with a degree in advertising or fine arts and communications, emphasis advertising. And I don't have a job yet, but I'm still very hopeful about it. So when I stop getting hopeful about it, then y'all might want to check on me because I don't know about that one. But I'm still hopeful about it because I really want to be an art director and even if I have to work something else until then, my dream is to still be an art director eventually, no matter what. And big shout out to DoorDash for keeping me employed until then. Until then. Because
DoorDash was a bag during the pandemic.
I wish I knew about it before in the pandemic because I never tried it until literally last month. That was the first time I ever did it, and I was like, wow, this is sad. I never knew about this. I could have been having this, even though I had on campus jobs, but now I'm okay, I'm going back to Nashville on Thursday. That's where I'm from, so I'm going back to Nashville on Thursday just to live with my mom rent free, kinda. I still have to pay rent here, but I'll be rent free after July. So
okay,
rent free,
almost free, just slightly shackled, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's just slightly shackled. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping some opportunity will come up while I'm in Nashville. I don't necessarily want to end up in Nashville, but I'm okay living there for as long as I need to get on my feet and and to fulfill my dream of being an art director. So I'm trying to be really patient. I really am trying to be really patient. All that graduating has taught me is to be patient. Right. And let God do his thing, because me and God right now, we've been like this because I'm like, what you doing up there, buddy?
No, for real.
What you doing up there? Because I'm down here trying to figure what your plan is for me, and I don't know if we on the same wavelength, but just kidding. I know his plan is greater than mine. His plan is greater than mine. Let me shut up before he But yeah, I still want to move to New York. I mean, that just obviously is not a thing I'm gonna be able to do anytime right now, but that's still also a dream of mine. But so I have a lot of dreams. I've also been reading a lot. I haven't read as many as Sebastian. I probably read 6 books, but they're easy books. I mean, they're they're my smutty books. So yeah. So I don't know. I get through those books within the day because I had to be eating that shit. I'd be like, oof, it's so good. I love that. I can't put it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Loved it. Okay, Kylie, you want to give your update?
Yeah, so I'm done in June, so just a few weeks. I'm getting my degree in psychology. I'm hoping to enter the child care education system. Mm-hmm. I've been looking at graduate programs to get a master's in social work. As far as just an update from then, I don't know. The first half of the year really got me. I'm not gonna lie, but I've been working a lot on just being more mindful, and I've also been reading a lot, just kind of for leisure. One of my favorite activities right now is to go sit at a park and just kind of enjoy Earth and Mother Nature.
Yes.
I don't know what else I've done recently. I've been just kind of rediscovering hobbies and learning to be by myself and just kind of enjoying that for what it is. And so working on my mental health. I've been going to therapy. I go every week.
Love that.
I just transitioned actually to every other, which I'm really proud of. Made a lot of progress. actually. At least that's what my therapist be telling me. I don't know. She likes to tell me about myself. So
I'm like, tell me what I want to hear. Thank you.
no, literally. I'm like, Emma, don't do this. Anyway, but yeah, so that's been really big for me. I've been kind of just reconnecting with myself the last few months, working on myself in every way possible. I've been going to the gym. I've been trying to get my life together, figure out what I want to do. So yeah, that's as far as big plans. I can only think so far ahead. So the biggest plan I have right now is that I'm going back to California in a few weeks just to see my brothers. So very excited for that.
And job looking like situation.
I'm running a summer program right now. I work for the Boys and Girls Club still. As far as like a big girl job, that's to be announced. I have interviews this week. The problem with having a degree in psychology is I don't have a teaching license. So trying to teach elementary school without a teaching license is kind of hard. So we're working on that. But so I'm going back to school for that. Once I get my teaching license, going for my master's and then a PhD after that. So
period.
That's all I got.
There you go. All right.
See, I'm learning something new. I didn't know you're gonna get a PhD. That's my girl. She's gonna get a PhD.
Yes.
Yeah, so when I go big time, I don't want to hear from none of y'all.
What? I'm dead. Why not hear from us? We've been here through everything. What you mean?
Send us up that quick.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Unless I'm in the White House in New York with my girl, White House. Those are the places I want to be. So we can connect with each other. Kenny, where are you taking us? To the billboards? Big screen?
Of course. We're gonna be on Times Square, baby. We're gonna see our names in big letters.
What's the song?
Bright lights. We're gonna be like little y'all saw not Ariel, Halle Bailey. She was like taking a picture with her her screen in Times Square. That's gonna be us. We're gonna be like,
yes.
That's you know.
We love it.
You know those screens aren't that expensive. They don't cost that much.
A billboard? You got billboard money?
They're like, it's like it'll go on for like, if I remember, it was like it'll go on like X amount of times in a day for like 15 seconds for like $150 or something. It's like something like it's really not that bad.
When we went to New York,
so after I get engaged, I don't want to be proposed to that way, but I would like my announcement to be on there. So whoever marries me, y'all know them. Tell them to do that.
Put your Venmo and your Amazon wish list on
there. Me. Put that on there. Come on, bless somebody.
You're like, getting married. Help me.
Soon we'll be looking for an update from Rachel. Maybe we should get an update from Rachel right quick.
Yeah. I forgot we gotta talk too. Right. Y'all hear from us every week.
You're done. What did you say?
I said they hear from us every week. Do we really need to give an update?
You don't need
updates of your lives.
I mean, we haven't. I mean, we haven't spoke actually in a minute, but I'll give a mini one. Life is good. Mm-hmm. Still working. I feel like I'm really growing in my career. I feel like a corporate girly. So that's been cool and exciting to see myself grow in a new way, just because learning corporate life is very different than being a student. And I never, again, in my undergraduate experience, it was like everyone was researching or like going to get a higher, like more education. So I never really picture myself in this position. So it's been cool to like transform almost. But yeah, that's mostly my life. Doing all my Delta stuff and hanging out with all my girls out here, trying to enjoy post-grad life and create a balance and whatnot, and make time for family too as well, considering all that's occurred in my life recently. But yeah, that's my update. Nate?
I got red bottoms on. Life is good. You know what I mean? 100,000 for the cheapest ring on none of my fingers because I'm broke. But let me see, things are going pretty well. We moved. You see, me and my wife Cassandra, we moved down to Salt Lake, so we finally have escaped the bottomless pit that is Utah County, and we're living it up down here, having a good time. I am working at financial firm down here, which has nothing to do with my psychology degree, but it's the job that presented itself to me. So it's the job that I took. Yeah, enjoying that, working on getting like some financial licenses and stuff like that, and also planning to go to law school next year. So just working in the
Yeah.
meantime. And I'm trying to think what else. That's really about it. No other big updates, no other big life changes. Just working, continuing to be a Black menace, living my best life.
Yes.
That's me.
Love it.
Yeah.
We're all
So I
happy.
guess if we could do like the year in review, kind of, right? So obviously, again, this is a year of the Black Menaces podcast, but we can also just kind of have it be, it's talking about like our year as Black Menaces and all the things that we've accomplished, things we've been able to do. What has been everybody's favorite Black Menace memory? Like, was it recording? Was it a trip that we did?
I have one. It's the first one that came to my mind. Rachel, you weren't there for this one because you were in the hotel room. Was it Michigan?
Oh my gosh.
It's when all of
Yeah.
us. It was after a long day. I think we were in Michigan, right?
Yeah, I remember this. I was typing
After a
a
long
a
we were
letter.
all together. So it was me, Nate, Sebastian, and Kenny or Kenithia, and we were all just kind of talking, hanging out. And then I don't remember who, but someone had the bright idea that we need to have a rap battle. Freestyle rap battle, and I'm gonna be very honest, none of us have a future career in that, but we took 5 minutes to just
Speak
kind
for
of brainstorm. But I think it was just fun because after Nate probably gave the best, but at the end of the day,
by
it was
far.
just
He ate us
like,
up.
yeah, he did. It was nice to just kind of spend time with each other and just kind of giggle, laugh the way we always do. That's probably one of my favorite in a more professional sense. Just being at the universities we've been able to visit, I think is a blessing that I actually just reflected on recently. Like we've done so much in such a
Right.
short period of time, and it's kind of crazy to think that like we've even had those opportunities. I mean,
Right.
definitely. I mean, there's 5 of us, which alone is a lot in the sense of like people paying for us to do these things. And so I just think it's cool that we've all been blessed to have so many like nice words to say that people find interesting, and we've made a difference in such a short time.
Right.
I actually still have mine. I found it. It was in my desk from Bell Tower Hotel.
Hey,
Did you ever
Bro.
perform it?
Perform it for
Huh?
us, Kenny.
I don't even. I think I had it to a beat, but I don't remember what the beat was.
Nate
think about
did it.
Just make one up.
Let's see.
It's
I
gonna be
can't beat
The
myself here
title.
because then it'll lag. I mean, it might sound good like once we put it all together, but it's
It's okay.
once the audio comes off, there's no guarantee what it'll sound good.
So the topic of this one was love. Let me think about how it was. Okay, love. Baby, fill the tub. Give me that rubber dub. Don't leave me hanging. Shoot, I must be dreaming. He held me tight. Wait, he held me tight. Yep, it's that time of night. The day of love. You gonna take me out, right? But if you don't, it's time for fight night.
Oh,
Ooh, bars.
guys, this is what happens on the
Yo.
off time.
It's
People
giving
think we're so serious. We're not a serious group at
Yo,
all,
no.
especially Kenny.
No, for real.
Super Hot Fire. She spit that.
Oh me, I was.
2.5
Nate's
minutes.
went in.
Nate
I'm not
was
gonna
the
lie.
best, I gotta say.
Nate was
I don't
fucking-
Hold on, let
remember.
me see if I still have it. Hold on.
I don't know.
Yeah,
if
Nate
it-
was good.
I don't know if it necessarily be the best for the podcast.
Oh wait,
Listen, this is an adult audience. All right.
You're
They
right. Go
mature.
on, King.
so
My bad.
I don't know if I still have it, but yeah, it
Okay.
was
so
it was-
Sebastian and Kenny, what about y'all? Like your reflection?
Favorite experience. Oof. Can you got some?
I'm pondering.
That's tough.
We've had a lot of
Um,
moments.
we've had a
Sorry,
lot
I
of
have another
great.
one.
I mean, I can say one that my favorite. I think my favorite is just watching all of us like thrive in different ways. I think that's what I've loved. Just like through every different situation we've been in, whether that's speaking, flying, or coordinating, or like reaching out, we've all just done so much since we started all of this, and seeing all of us thrive in those unique ways has been really cool. Like, I don't know, like I feel like when I first met Kylie, she wasn't as outspoken as she is now. And so like seeing her come into that, or like seeing Sebastian be able to like live out passion projects through different things that we've done, and just like seeing Kenny bring like laughter to all of the different things. It's just been really fun to see the ways in which, and Nate, you just having a very good like leadership ability throughout the group, and like keeping us on track with things. Just seeing the ways that we all like have thrived in our own ways in each situation. And again, almost become, we're business, but also like we're family. And so it's like I know you guys like siblings as well, in the sense of like I kind of know how you're gonna move, and I know how you're gonna think. And when you don't, you shock me. I'm like, oh wow, you did something different. I love that, you know. But it's become like a family relationship as well. And so I think that's been one of my favorite parts. Is like you guys feel more than just like people I do videos with and work with. It's like these are like if I have something I'm stressed about, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see Nate when we record the podcast, and I'm gonna talk to him about what's going on because I need to get Nate's advice on this.
So I agree, Rachel. I think it's really cool. Like, I think that's kind of why we've been able to work so well. Is all of us like, I feel like I could go to every single one of you and be like, I need help, and you guys would all answer. And so I think that's kind of a cool bond that we've created. And we've kind of learned our strengths and like what we enjoy doing in sense of Black Menaces. And so it's been fun to step out of my comfort zone and watch you guys step out of yours and learn new things from you guys. And you guys are all like my, big siblings,
yeah.
Like, especially as I transition in life too, looking to you guys for help and guidance and just kind of like support has been really helpful.
Yeah, girl, we all just out here, so don't look too close because don't look too close now. I'm just here, okay?
I like to see all y'all's faces. Hold on, zoom out.
We gotta keep it. We gotta keep it individual for the video.
Sorry, friend.
Bummer.
It wouldn't look good.
I'd say my favorite experience had to be. And this is tough because I really have enjoyed most moments when we've all been together. But so I feel like I could go on for like multiple great experiences. But I'll just say two real quick. The first one's not really an experience. But one of my favorite things is when we're all five together, because y'all might not know this, but that regularly happens. We're actually all five in the same room. So I think anytime that we're all five together, when we're walking around all five together, just like when we're together, I think it reminds me of what you were talking about, Rachel, about like the family connection. And just like it's always a good time. But I think the second, like the actual experience is when we were in Massachusetts at Smith's College, and we were just had that long day. Like we was up from like, I don't know what time. It felt like 9 a.m. I'm gonna say it's 9 a.m.
No, we were up early.
Whatever it was,
it was terrible. They had us working.
It was a long day. Did we?
I just remember sitting in the library and I was like, I'm ready to go. I was like,
yeah, it was mad early. Yeah. Listen, we earned that money. We earned it.
Didn't we? We walked in the rain.
They did pack us in. I will say that. We were doing everything. It was fun. That was probably our best, I'm going to be honest.
But now I know. But now we know for future, bring you coffee or 5-hour energy, ho, because you're about to be tired.
And an umbrella. Rachel, your braids. You were like, man.
Yeah, I was tucking them bitches in. Yeah.
But yeah, so that's probably my Michigan all around.
Is there a specific experience that you're referring to, or just the trip?
Probably like just the trip in general, but probably the end when we met with their Black Student Union at Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, Massachusetts rather. Yeah, we was just an hour and a half just vibing with them, or however long it was, and we was just laughing and dying. They was telling us the funniest stuff. Anyways, very interesting, but that was probably my favorite time of the whole trip, though.
Yeah, that was a good time. That was a good time.
I gotta agree. Smith College,
immaculate.
It was a perfect experience, and it was like the first like big trip we took. And it was just like the bar is so high now. Like the bar is so high. Smith College was literally one of the most perfect experiences of my entire existence. I feel like the only thing that would have made it better if there was some cute niggas there, but that's fine with me because those bitches were bad still. Like the bitches were still bad there.
I'm so jealous. It's strictly women's college.
Yeah, it is. It's strictly female.
Honestly, I was debating after that. I was like, I'm gonna go to this school. was a good
Shit,
school.
I wanted to go to that school. That house
Y'all
was
wanna go?
nice.
No,
I know, but I wanted to go.
all the niggas to the back. All the niggas to the back. Sorry, you and Nate are canceled.
Immediately.
It's for the girlies. For the girlies and the gays.
Canceled. Tough.
Kenny, what about you?
I think my favorite my favorite Black Menaces experience. I don't know. I think it's accumulation of everything.
Hey, I'm recording the podcast. Was
I'm
that
sorry,
not
we got
muted?
to cut
Oh
that.
no. Tough.
These bloopers are so funny. Like we should make a reel just the bloopers.
No.
It was the yell out for me. It was no prep or nothing.
No
I'm like,
nudity,
nah,
nothing.
bro.
Okay, Kenny, your favorite memory? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I thought my microphone was muted. Tough.
Mine is just an accumulation of like all the different times like we get together because I absolutely like when I get to be myself around other people, and especially around a group of people, like y'all bring out the good in me. Like y'all bring out the funny in me. I'll say that. Y'all bring out the little crazy in me. Y'all bring out the crazy in me just because I'm we a little local over here. But I love it. Like I feel so comfortable when I'm around y'all. Like I feel like I can talk about like my poop cycles, like whatever I need to talk about, I can talk about with y'all. And it's honestly amazing. Like who said that? Like you can ask for something. Like I think I could ask for something. I know I necessarily can't ask y'all for money because we all broke out here, but still, like I know I can ask y'all for like anything. Like dang, my poop was kind of rough tonight. Like I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna but like I could ask y'all anything literally. And it's quite the friendship. Like honestly, I knew like before Black Menaces, I think we were just all friends like individually and separately.
Mm-hmm.
But then like being a friend group,
yeah,
it's a different vibe.
Yeah, it is.
Different vibe. Bringing us all together, all these different personalities together. I'm like, oh shoot, look at us, our little melting pot.
I'm dead.
I mean, we all AAs, but
we're not really that diverse, but that's okay.
We're from different states. That's our diversity.
That's our diversity.
Right. Cool. For me, I would say my favorite memory, or some of my favorite memories, was just being able to be on BYU campus, and that's it. No, I'm kidding. No, but it was being able to to be on BYU campus, just having a rough time. But then like once the Black Menaces got together and once we came and like chill at the black table, or we're like leading up to record videos, we're like, okay, for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, this is gonna be like, I'm gonna feel happy, I'm gonna feel safe, I'm gonna feel like I actually want to be here at this campus. Like being able to kind of, work together to show the culture of BYU, to show, some of the experiences that we have, the things that we face, the type of people that we deal with. Just knowing like, hey, this is an opportunity for us to share our experience, and this is an opportunity for us to be with other Black people or to communicate with other Black people. That was something special for me. So that's probably one of my favorite memories. Is just all the times that we were creating content, that we were, making an impact together. Because while we were helping other people and doing things like on a bigger scale, it was also helping me on a more personal scale.
Love that. That's facts.
100%.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's deep.
I'm a deep individual. You feel me?
Stop, please.
Let me see. So what's one thing that being a Black menace has taught you over the last year and a half? What's one thing that you've learned, something that you want to share with the audience, the people, the ministry, if you will?
Hey, I got some actually. Something that I think is like something that I think Black Menaces really helped me double down in my own life is that when you have like a feeling for something or to do something, no matter how like weird it may seem, that like doing it is always the best answer for you. You know what I mean? Like I used to really not be on TikTok like that, and so it's interesting to think like we had this idea about creating a random TikTok account and none of us was really on TikTok, and it was like kind of abnormal, kind of like weird, but I feel like there was like that initial act on intuition is something that's taught me a lot about kind of maintaining that type of action where when you feel like something is right or that you should do something, then just act on it because it's going to work out in your favor. So
Love
Love
that.
that. Love that. Who else wants to
Uh,
go? I can go. Oh,
um,
Kylie, you got it.
oh, sorry. You can. I can. Okay.
No, you got it.
I think one thing, just like kind of just I've learned from you guys that I've really been reflecting on recently is just not being so hard on myself, like for my ideas and my actions. And like you guys have all taught me just like not to look at things so black and white. I'm very like cut and dry. Like if I'm bad, then I'm done. And if I'm good, then that's, like you guys get what I'm saying. So I think learning just from you guys and working together and navigating friendships and all of that, that I hate this saying because I think it's like almost invalidating, but like that idea of like I can do hard things. I think I've learned to fully understand what that saying is, and that coming into myself as like who Kylie is and standing alone sometimes and like being confident being by myself and being confident to just speak out and to have an opinion that I know is worth something and that my emotions are valid and my all of those things and like that I'm enough. I think this last year I've struggled a lot just to feel that like I have a space in the relationships I'm in, whether that be romantic, friendship, platonic, all of those things. And just I think you guys as a whole have taught me that I can be all of those things and that everything that I am is worth something. That's
I love
emotional.
that.
Anyway, we've learned.
That's special. I like that. Kenithia, Rachel? Or should
Yeah,
I go?
I think for me, I think I learned like the power of like asking questions. Like, everybody's always like, well, if you don't know something, ask. I'm like, okay, you don't have anxiety, got it. Love that for you. Like, but like there is a lot of power behind like asking questions. Even like in this sense, we ask it for like we ask questions to see like so we ask specific questions like to see gauge people's like understanding of certain topics, and then we went on to teach them sometimes about those topics. But like even in like my daily life or like different situations, I have learned that like you can't like some people like they don't what they don't know they won't know unless like I act like they won't know. I don't know how to explain this. Like
mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain like how the question comes into that, but like I found myself like asking them like, well, why do you think that way? Or like, well,
Right.
like what makes you like what experience have you had that like makes you think that way? And even though like I did have disagree with a lot of people, I've been able to have a lot more cordial conversations with people I disagree with from just asking those like those questions. And like I learned the power of asking questions from Black Menaces because I mean our TikTok we just started well we didn't start asking questions, but we eventually just started asking questions.
We
And
invented
it's
questions.
a big thing. Like it lets us having like almost 1 million followers. And I'm like, it's changed like I would say it's changed our lives, honestly. Just like the power of just asking some questions and like seeing like do you want like trying to see if people understand the importance of certain things or I don't know. And also Black Menace has also very much helped me with my anxiety because you try going up to random people and asking them questions. I mean, BYU is a little different, but I'm like, hey, can I ask you a question for TikTok?
Right.
Like I feel like that would be when I first started. Then I'm like, hey, yeah, I see you eating, but can I ask you a question? Thank you.
Right.
Definitely getting some confidence from doing Black Menaces. So shout out.
Love that. Love that. I would say for me, one thing that Black Menaces has taught me um, is just the importance of adapting, right? Like always being willing to kind of shift and adjust. Like Sebastian said, none of us were really on TikTok like that, but um, it became like a platform for us to speak through, and we adapted to that, right? Like we figured out what people wanted to see, um, and we created content that was able to appeal to a certain audience, right? And then being able to replicate that same thing on Instagram, and then be able to take it to other venues. We were able to speak at conferences and go to a couple different colleges and present there, speak on panels and do consulting. And so like the ability to kind of take just asking questions and turning that into an ability, or and turning that into opportunities to educate, and things like that, just has taught me a lot about adaptability and how important it is to um, you know how important it is to your ability to like make an impact, to be willing to change. I think a lot of the things that we run into with like ignorant people is rigidity. Like their unwillingness to change, unwillingness to adapt, and that's why the country is so fucked up right now. Is because of all these old ass people in government running everything and refusing to change. They want things to stay the same. Like the whole idea behind "Make America Great Again" is wanting to keep things the same and like limit progress, right? So um, I think adaptability has become a big part of my life, and just the ability to make changes when necessary, and to always just be constantly learning, like learning new things.
Okay.
Well, I feel like Black Menaces taught me so much, and I agree with everything you guys have said. Like, I resonate with each of those things. But I feel like one thing that you haven't mentioned is maybe I feel like Black Menaces just taught me that I don't know. I feel like in our day and age, so much has been created and like done, and it can feel like I don't really know how I can contribute in a unique way. Almost, I don't know if anybody ever struggles with that sometimes, but I feel like Black Menaces taught me the power of like your own individual story, your uniqueness, and like how the world needs to hear that and see that because it is unique. Like going to BYU and being a black person at the school, being black growing up LDS, like these are things that make the world a beautiful place. And being a part of Black Menaces has allowed us to like meet so many different types of people who have very different stories and seeing the way they interact in the world and just I don't know. I feel like I always knew that, but having this experience constantly reminds me of that, whether that's through us interviewing people on the podcast or us going out and interviewing people that turns into a conversation or even visiting the different schools and speaking in the different places we have. We've met so many different types of people, and that all happened because we wanted to get out and share our unique situation, and we didn't realize how many people would resonate with it, be interested in it, and like the connection we can make with people through that. Like through us doing Black Menaces alone, meeting people in Utah just puts us on a different level. And I think people are even willing to connect with us because of it, right? They'll be like, oh, you did that. Like, I want to connect with you now and share about myself and like the ways that I feel different and othered. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that that's been something cool to see that you can constantly learn that lesson time and time again in life, especially as we all head to this like transition of like graduating and heading down a new path and realizing like there's power in the uniqueness that we have right now and having confidence as we go into new situations. There's a reason you're where you're supposed to be, right? Like I feel that way in my job all the time. Like my coworkers are like people who are SVPs, and I'm like, all right, there's a reason I'm here. There's a reason I'm contributing on this team, and it's because I have something unique to bring. And so that's true in so many situations. And Black Menaces just taught me that.
For sure. For sure.
Love that. All right, all right. So we've gotten all philosophical and deep and everything, but now we're gonna take it. We're gonna make it fun to wrap it up here.
How we talking?
What I want to know everybody's most controversial opinion, right?
Stop.
Ooh, wow.
Dang.
Yeah, I want to know your most controversial opinion. I'm gonna go first because I think mine is quite controversial.
Oh, I'm scared.
All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Boneless wings are better than bone-in
Stop.
wings.
Stop.
That is literally false.
That is anti-black. That's anti-black.
You like
You
chicken
just like-
nuggets?
Boneless wings.
You like seasoned chicken
are
nuggets.
better than bone-in wings.
This
Nate,
is
don't-
shameful.
You keep talking
The
your
only
own
thing that's not
podcast.
better is buffalo wings. I feel like everything else, I want that boneless, please. Thank you.
I'm sick.
My most controversial.
This
You
is
see
sick.
the inflammation, right? Everybody is really pressed, but they're just mad because they know that deep down I am telling the truth. Boneless wings.
Someone take the
better
mic. Someone take
Right.
than bone-in
We don't.
wings.
Nate, you
That's
start-
controversial for sure.
And the sauce got to be on the side too.
Oh,
You
Lord.
Oh,
And
you
so
lost
you
me.
don't like-
Yeah, you really lost us.
Yeah, you lost me.
You like chicken nuggets with dip.
You lost me. You definitely like chicken nuggets. That's all I'm
No,
getting.
no, it's different. A chicken
That's
nugget is like ground up chicken. A boneless wing is a piece of chicken. It's a piece of chicken that's
breaded.
been fried. It's a bone-in wing without all the extra work.
That's not the chicken
Why would I
wing.
wrap
That's
my
just
mouth
chicken.
around a whole bone when I could just eat the chicken?
That's chicken put in a circle.
Stop talking. Somebody take it, bro. What is?
Nah.
nothing.
See, a boneless wing is a piece of chicken. A chicken nugget is ground up chicken that's been like mushed together and fried. Boneless wings are better than bone-in wings.
Clearly, we don't agree. It's something that is very controversial.
So that's my most controversial opinion. Who's next?
Oh, we heard that one.
Loud and clear. Do I have? Maybe I'm just not controversial.
I'm like, I know I have some. I'm just trying to think.
What else is that?
I know I got them, but I can't beat bone-in chicken wings.
Cause that is
your most controversial opinion. It doesn't have to be more controversial.
My most controversial opinion. It's gonna take me a second, but I'll say one that I thought of off top.
Okay.
One I thought of off top is one. I don't like watermelon, and I know people be hating that, but I think it's trash. I think it's watered down juice. That's all it is.
I will have to agree with you.
Wow.
It's just not.
Nah, I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm
gonna be honest, I agree.
Right, I'm like you, Kenny. Like,
I just don't like it. I've tried it. I try it every single time because it looks good.
SJ, maybe it's our half white side. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh,
I don't like
maybe.
Bro, I feel like that must be like the. Well, I'm not gonna say that. Never mind.
That's what
Let me self-edit.
Yeah, that's my watermelon. It's just not good.
Crazy.
Watered down juice.
That's controversial. That is controversial.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if I have one. Rachel, Kenny, you have one?
I'm pretty sure I do. I have a lot of opinions, so I'm just so shook that they're somehow not coming to the forefront right now.
You do have a lot of opinions. I just don't know if they're controversial.
That's true.
No, like trying to think of a controversial something to say. I'm like, dang, this is low-key kind of hard. Like, I be seeing TikToks about this. I'm like, you know what? You damn right. Like,
okay, you know what? Okay, I have one. People who like Chick-fil-A think they're better than other people, and I'm so sorry. This shit really pisses me off. People who eat Chick-fil-A, they're the same, like not just I eat Chick-fil-A to eat Chick-fil-A. These are the Chick-fil-A like fanatics, like they have the sauce in their house type people.
It's the same people that go to Trader Joe's.
Yeah, okay.
And
these are the same people that think they're better because they don't eat McDonald's. No.
As if it's the same thing.
It's literally the same thing. Like that's my controversial opinion, that these people think that they're better and they think that they're like psychologically like higher than you, and like it's giving like classism. I just feel like the way that Chick-fil-A has branded themselves as like a middle class food, upper middle class food, like people really are just playing into that and they don't even realize how they have been scammed by the marketing industry. And that really pisses me off because people will really argue with you and you're looking at them like, sir, it's still fast food, it's still fried, it's still not good for you. You feel better because you got you a little frosted lemonade.
That homophobic.
No, that really pisses me off, and that's my controversial opinion. And I stand on it 10 toes down. And show me it's not true. Also, my controversial opinion, I thought of this as well on the side. Harry Styles and Taylor Swift fans are the same people on a Venn diagram. And
me.
Upper middle class white women who are liberals.
Okay, I can't stand their fans at all. I can't stand them.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you like
mad.
them, but
Taylor Swift's music is really not even that good. Her recent music is trash, but they will hype to the day they die. The Swifties, I'm gonna be honest, I will never stand in between a Swiftie and anything, because no, it's
They do like, have y'all watched Swarm on Amazon Prime? It's a show that Donald Glover wrote. So there's like a group of fans on there that be like going crazy, but like the main character, she's basically like a fan of this singer, and then she's like a serial killer for people that don't like that singer.
Golly.
I have a controversial opinion.
It's more complicated than that, but
don't kill
go ahead, Kaniki.
No, that was Kylie.
I don't know how much, I don't know how controversial y'all will think it is, but I just have been reflecting on BYU. I personally think that the Cougarettes they're good dancers.
Yes.
I take that away from them. However, I think The reason they get so much hype is because there are a bunch of pretty blonde girls with blue eyes who are imitating black dance, hip hop, all those things. And so then they get hype because it looks cool. But if it was a group of black girls, we would not get the same energy that they get.
At all.
Oh yeah,
And so I
that's
think
fine.
they win stuff because there's this like idea that they're stepping out of their comfort zone and they're modestly dressed. And it's like, but I could have learned it. I may cut out the flips and stuff, but I could have done it. So personally, I just don't think they deserve the hype that they get.
Listen, every time they win a national championship, or like whenever they win it, the Cougarettes won a world championship. I'm like, what championships are they going to?
No, I know no
majorette team. You could take a high school majorette team, and they will dust the Cougarettes every single time. So I'm like, what championships are y'all going to?
If you guys know about dance, one of the TAs that I worked with, she grew up doing dance in Utah. So she knows all these competitions, and she's like, they go to competitions that they don't have to like there's not really competition for them because it's based off of like school size and I think, or maybe it's like the size of the team and whatnot, and they are competing in a way that like they're not really competing against anybody. So it's like, yeah, they won the world championship for this random ass tournament, and like anybody could go find a world championship tournament and get named like the champion at. There's enough dance competitions out there, so it's not even like this is a super competitive one. So she always would say that. She's like, they're not that good.
No, they're really not. Because like, did y'all ever watch Bring It On? Did you ever watch Bring It On?
Yes.
Oh yes.
The dancing dolls will dance circles around the Cougarettes, bro. Like every time. That's some babies, some children. They will dust the Cougarettes. Anyway,
I love dancing.
That's fair.
All right, Kenny, you're the only one left. What you got?
I got one. This gonna be weird. This gonna get nothing to do with pop culture, nothing. But last summer I saw Pompeii in person, and I'm convinced that Pompeii little volcano did not happen. Like, I'm convinced it did not happen. I went and visited it and everything. Like, it just didn't seem real. I was like, y'all trying to tell me a volcano came and destroyed this place out. But like, how them bodies, I'm convinced them bodies they have, like you see those like bodies that like petrify people or whatever. Don't get me wrong. Don't come for me if you got like my great grandpa was, affected out. Okay, that's your great grandpa, and he's passed on.
You said nah.
I genuinely don't think I'm convinced it did not happen. Like it didn't look real. Like that body, I'm like, are you sure you didn't like just make that body out of clay and just put it in under like a glass case to make it seem special? I'm like, it's not given. It really isn't given. I'm like, if I cut open this thing, you telling me I would see like some fossil, some bones or something like from, I don't know. I guess it wouldn't be intact bones, but like you telling me I would see like human DNA if I cut open that thing. Be for real. It's not real.
I'm so dead.
I saw it in person. It's not real. And then they had the audacity. They were basically, it's not real. They had like this one section. It just had like porn on the walls. I was like, this is not real. You trying to y'all just want, like, that was the most random thing I've ever seen in my life. I was like, Pompeii is about porn. Y'all not making sense to me. I thought Pompeii was all about the volcano. Now y'all telling me Pompeii had porn on the walls too. Y'all not making, it wasn't making sense to me. And I'm still not.
The Italians was freaky deaky.
Y'all can fight me. I want people to fight me on it because I'm like, y'all can fight me on it because were you there? Thank you. Give y'all work. No, thank you.
Stop playing with me. Was you there? Come on.
Thank you.
That's funny.
Did slavery happen? I don't know. Were you there? What?
Okay. That's a little different.
I'm dead.
A little different.
Oh my gosh.
Same energy.
I would say the more I think about it, the more sus the moon landing is. Because like,
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. This is
You mean to tell me they sent 3 people to the moon in 1969, but they ain't been back yet? Like,
and the camera was dropped up. How you gonna go to the moon and bring a
right? How'd they get the camera up there? They took the camera in the spaceship. It seemed real sus to me. I don't know. It was during that time.
Neil Armstrong probably got a background in acting or something. He probably got a background in acting because ain't no way. Yeah, I bet
crazy things. This is crazy.
got some active background.
Y'all really believe this? This is crazy.
Yeah, Sebastian series.
And they're controversial for a reason, but I'm gonna stand by. That's like my nigga. I'm gonna stand by him.
Pigeons
I'ma
aren't
stand by
real.
him.
I'm convinced.
I'm gonna stand by that fact.
I'm sick. My brother ate a pigeon
What?
in France. In Paris, he went to this mad bougie restaurant, ate a pigeon.
Oh yeah, it's very
Y'all are
yeah.
killing me right now.
8-course meal. He ate one of them pigeons. Gobbled it up.
Ew.
I bet it was
Don't
good,
say it
too.
like that. Gobbled up.
I know.
He had a bone-in wing. That's what he had, Nate. He had a
Stop.
The bird wing.
a bone-in too. Come on.
See, imagine how good boneless pigeon would have been.
Stop. You're
Boneless
done.
pigeon wings, delicious.
Okay, time to wrap it up.
Pigeon nuggets.
To the recommendations.
Pigeon nuggets.
Hold
Okay.
on. I got one more question.
Okay.
To wrap it up. All right. So this question, and this can be just like a brief, like 60-second answer. What does your spirituality look like post BYU?
Ooh, that's a great question.
What does your spirituality look like post BYU? Because BYU is very determined that everybody there will have a spiritual experience and they'll be able to go to religion. You basically get a minor in religion that counts for nothing. So what does everybody's spirituality look like post
Ain't that a question?
BYU?
Somebody else go first.
I can go first.
Yes, Kenny, go.
So personally, I still believe in God. I still believe in Jesus Christ. But I still believe, like, even before at BYU, like my time at BYU, I believed a lot of what the church had just because that's where I came to know God, who God was. But like now that I'm here, like I don't go to church that often, but I still get down on my knees and pray to God, and like I still very much believe that He's there and that like He'll take care of me, like, and He's guiding my paths and everything. But like I don't know, like I don't like personally, like church-wise and like church-wise spiritual, like LDS church-wise spirituality, I don't know. I keep like I contemplated going to my bishop about like I don't know if I'm gonna stay in the church anymore. Like I don't see myself in like 5 years down the road picking my ass up on Sunday and going to church, you know? Like I can see myself going to church with my mom when I'm in Nashville whenever I want to. But like I just don't see myself ever consistently going to church ever again, to be honest.
Yeah.
I feel that. So
And
what does
also,
that
I
look like for
also
your-
realize there's a lot of anxiety behind the church, like spiritual anxiety, but
Big
I've
facts.
come a long way for that too. So
Could say a word on that, but we're not gonna get into it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anybody else want to go? I can jump in.
Or I
You
can
got it.
Go ahead, Kylie.
As far as like spirituality, because I think spirituality and religion are different. Spiritually, I'm doing very well. I have been working on just being mindful. I will give him credit. Sebastian really helped me like kind of navigate that, like not to think so black and white. So I've been working on that. So as far as like my relationship with God, I don't think it's ever been stronger, especially just in this difficult time of my life. I've really been relying on him and like just kind of like talking to God and just having like a real relationship with him. As far as the church, I'm in a weird spot. Like I think for so long I had all of these goals. Like I was gonna get married in the temple. I was gonna do this. I was gonna do that. And not necessarily that they've like gone away 100%, but I think I've just been struggling navigating why I want something so bad that my family can't be there with me, or that my family doesn't get the full blessings that I do just because they don't go to church on Sunday, you know, just like these little things. And I think the church, I think I agree with Kenny of like the anxiety. Like I think I go to church and feel bad about myself because I feel like I'm a sinner and I feel like I'm awful and that God doesn't love me. And for so long I thought that way. Like at one point I was convinced that God himself did not love me, and like that's an awful feeling. And so I think in the where I'm at spiritually is like my relationship with God is 100% between me and God, and I don't owe anybody an explanation on what I do or how I choose to worship, because it's none of their business. And like God knows where my heart is and my thoughts and my intentions, and like that's all that matters. So if I decide to go back to church consistently, I'll let y'all know. But as of right now, I'm focusing on me and the man upstairs. So, yeah.
Love it, love it. Sebastian, Rachel, me.
Sebastian, you go.
It's the smirk. We already.
Oh, Sebastian.
Yeah. Woof. See, like I said, 60 seconds really not is not adequate. However, I'll explain like how what I think like this is when I can like talk about my spirituality, I think the baseline for my beliefs or lack thereof is I don't really think you can know anything besides things that are like tangible, like I have a sweater on, this is a chain, right? And even then, I'm not gonna get into the rabbit hole of debating that either, right? But the point is, like, for me, I don't really feel like you can know anything. And that leads me to not really having any like strong, definitely not no religious beliefs. But any like strong like slash religious slash spiritual beliefs. I'm like even like the idea of God is an interesting concept in my brain because I don't view God as necessarily a person or anything. I don't know what God is because I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think you really can know. And so I liked the idea of God, but I don't necessarily believe in something in particular about God, whether it's a person or a man or a woman, or if they're non-binary, or if it's even a person. You know what I mean? It's a conceptual nightmare.
Mhm.
But I do believe in like I have like a lot of spiritual beliefs of like things that are more foundational, like the law of attraction or the law of detachment. Things that are more like these grounded spiritual beliefs um, that kind of date anciently and things that people have done to find inner peace and joy and happiness. So that's kind of Sebastian in a nutshell. So yes,
Wow.
yes.
Nate, do you want to go or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I can go. So for me, post BYU, I would say that I am a very different person than I was like when I was at BYU, even right after I graduated. Right, I think I came to a point like a little over a year ago where I was just like, basically, I was just like, the math isn't mathing,
Mm.
and I can't keep inventing numbers. I realized that like I was for a
Mm.
lot of my life, I was inventing numbers to make the math work. And then once I just kind of like put all of that aside, a lot of that was based in fear. Basically, it was like, if I can keep going down this metaphor, essentially, I was afraid that if the math didn't add up, that my whole life would fall apart, right? That everything would be awful, right? That I would lose everything. And so I was inventing numbers to make all the math add up, right? And it just wasn't working anymore. So I got to a point where I was like, well, this doesn't make any sense. I can't keep trying to rationalize or explain this. Um, before my mission, I would say I didn't really have like a full-on concept of the church or the gospel, just kind of what I grew up with, right? And I was very knowledgeable. I knew my stuff. And I go on my mission, and I start to learn more. And if you want to hear more about that, you can listen to my Mormon Stories podcast episode. Small plug. But if you listen to that, then you can kind of learn. Like I learned more about what the church was really about as a missionary, and then I get home, and I kind of went from saying like, oh, I believe in the church and I believe in the gospel, to just saying like, oh, the gospel is true, the people aren't, and then the gospel is true, the church isn't, and then went from that to just being like, I only fuck with Jesus Christ, and then it just went to, you know what, I'm gonna just figure out what works for me and go with that.
Ain't that a
Yeah, and so I have come to the decision that I believe that God exists, but also that I don't know what that looks like, right? Because all I know is the God that I've been taught to fear my whole life is not the God that the God that I've been taught to fear is not the God that everybody keeps painting, right? So I really don't know what God looks like, um, but just that I do believe that there is God out there, and so I'm focusing on being my authentic self, and learning more about who I am and what that looks like. But that's been my spiritual journey over the last year and a half or so. All right, Rachel, bring it home.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I resonated with what everyone has said in some capacity, like literally each of you, what you've spoken on. And I think, yeah, similarly, I think for so long, I wanted the church to work out of fear, what you said, Nate. Kenny, realizing that anxiety you talked about, I felt that like summer of 2021. And I felt that way because I slowly started realizing the ways in which I didn't agree with the church that I've always kind of felt, but I had not really like leaned into fully. Like even after I got endowed, when I was super churchy, I was like, yes, this has to be the way. Wearing your garments is the only way. But then after a while, I was kind of like, no, like that's really terrible that like we're measuring spirituality based off the clothing someone wears, or then even like on my mission, I was like, why are the five saving ordinances required for exaltation? Like, I feel like it should just be faith and like your good works, things like that. Kind of all slowly adding up over time, or just like I don't agree with the church's view on like sex and masturbation. Just little things like that, being like that's not what I personally believe. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to teach my kids that. That was kind of how my brain started going. That if I know I'm going to teach my children the opposite, right? Like going to teach them something different. Why do I want to constantly be in a space that I'm having to like go back and forth with teaching them things? And that's kind of what was like my start of being like, maybe this isn't for you, and just being afraid of that. And then over the past like 2 years, really just fully leaning into that, and still trying to keep my own sense of like spirituality. And like I know that there's God, I believe in him, and I believe in Jesus Christ. I just don't know if I have to be associated with this organization in order to experience the love that I feel from God, or experience the love that I feel from having a savior. I can experience that in any church. I can experience that not going to church. That's the point of God, in my opinion. And really using the idea of like humanism is like this thing that people use, and like we're good people because we're all people. And like that idea is something that I try to use. Like I don't need religion to be the reason why I'm a good person or why I treat people good. I treat people good because I care about people, and I care about the well-being of others, because that's just something I care about. And I think sometimes people, if you need an organization to help you do that, I support it. Like I don't judge anyone no matter what they do. I love it if you love it. I just know that I have found that joy and like that service calling through other things without being associated with something that I felt was harmful or not fully aligned with who I was, and who I'm becoming. And so that's kind of been me, and it's been a great experience, especially being officially done with BYU. Just really feeling like that freeing thing you were talking about, Kenny, just feeling free, and like I can actually really choose, and I don't have to feel forced. And just experiencing a lot of things for the first time, and doing my own experiences, and being like, why do I want to live this way? Is it because I've been told, or is it because I actually want to? Things like that I've been exploring, and that's been like a interesting journey and fun, and kind of realizing there's a big fear of just like, who am I after not being involved, or like choosing to not participate. And being with people like you guys, or just like all of our friends, and the different people that I feel like God has put in my life to make me not feel that anxiety and stress, but have helped to ease that. So that's been nice too.
Love that. Cool. All right. Now we got recommendations, and then we'll close it out. So let's see.
You want me to
Sebastian, want to
start?
recommend first? Oh yeah, Rachel, you got it. You got it.
Okay. My recommendation for the week is a financial situation. Go like figure out, if you don't have good credit, go on TikTok and watch some videos about how to build your credit, how to fix it, or figure out like the next best credit card you can apply for. This is really random. I've just been researching this recently. So I just recommend it just because financial literacy, especially in the Black community, is something that we don't talk about as often. I feel like our generation's doing a better job, but like my parents didn't teach me about this kind of stuff. And so I feel like learning as much as you can, and like there's TikTok, YouTube videos, there's so much like stuff out there for free that you can listen to and like understand. And credit cards will pay for so much stuff for you through the points and benefits. If you have a decent credit score, I recommend the Chase Sapphire Preferred card, or getting a miles card with your favorite airline that you fly a lot, or is in your city. Like there's a hub for it as well, because it doesn't matter if it's your favorite if in the city you live in they never fly there. So something like that as well, so that you can get benefits for just making everyday purchases. But you have to be careful, obviously, to not go over. Again, the videos will teach you, but add some financial literacy and get you a credit card, because credit is the only way you can do anything in America, which is effed up on its own. But
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Sebastian,
All right, I can.
or Nate.
I'll go next. I'll go next. All right. So my recommendation for this week, um, I'll say it because I just did it yesterday. Chicken kebabs. Them shits are fire.
Bro,
You cut up some chicken, boneless chicken. Very
that's
easy to
we'll
cook.
prove
It's a
boneless for
kebab.
this.
Okay, it's a kebab. It got a stick through the middle.
Well, he want the wing like this on the stick, like this.
Oh,
So you take the chicken breast, right? And then you get some bell pepper, some onion, you chop it up into like decent sizes. Maybe like a little bit bigger than a postage stamp, right? And then you're just gonna put it all on the skewer. Or actually, you season the chicken first. You season the chicken first. So we had a barbecue yesterday for Memorial Day, and we used lemon pepper seasoning. And then I had like a couple of different kinds of barbecue seasoning. And so I put the chicken in 3 different bowls. I seasoned it up with the lemon pepper and the barbecue seasoning. And then I added all to the skewer with the onion and bell pepper. And you can add pineapple if you want to. And then threw the things on the grill and just let them get just let them get cooked. And man, those things are delicious. They're very satisfying, very filling, very enjoyable. So chicken kebab, that's my recommendation. Get you some chicken breast, the boneless kind, because it's better. And then add it to some skewers with some onion and bell pepper and go from there.
So annoying. I'll go.
Right, Sebastian, what you got?
I'll go. I was gonna say to listen to this book called No Matter What by Lisa Nichols. And I'm still saying it, right? But when I was listening to Rachel, I don't know, this other thought came into my head. I was talking about this the other day, is just checking on the people that you're close to, that you love, that you may not talk to a lot. Just ask them and talk about their own mental health with you, so you can kind of build that rapport in that space for them. I think we forget how people's mental health is going, and so we just move freely, right? And we, even if we see them all the time, sometimes we don't just sit down and ask how they're actually doing. So I did that the other day with one of my super close friends, and we just talked about all the things that they was going through, like, the hardships. And you have to think about like, okay, what if nobody's asking this person, right, that you're close to, and all the potential travesties that could come from that. And I think about when I was in the moments I've been down in my own life, and how many people actually like talk to me about it, regardless of how close our relationship might have been. Right. And I just don't think it's a lot of people, right? And so be that person for somebody, like ask them, build the rapport, build the space, because I think we will constantly be surprised what people are struggling with. And even if it's your close friend, ask them every time you see them. You know what I mean? I have a friend who does it to me and is very helpful. So I think it's a definitely recommendation. Do both, matter of fact, but do that for sure.
That's a fire recommendation. Kanithia, Kylie, who's going next?
I can go. My recommendation is the app called Wattpad. It's very middle school of me to recommend using Wattpad, but Wattpad has been my bestie for like the past 2 weeks.
Can you spell that?
Huh?
Can you spell that, please?
Wattpad, Wattpad, I think.
Okay.
You got me there.
Wattpad. So Wattpad is like these stories that people will make. Like people will write their own stories. Like it's usually just like a lot of like fan fiction, like from Harry Potter, like Draco and Harry Potter lovers, like random shit like that. That's not really. I don't really like BL like that. Y'all know what BL is anyway. I'm not really a big fan of that, but like I do love me some romance, some split. And so like the past like 2 weeks, I've probably read like 4 Wattpad books. Like that's separate from like the books I've read like outside of Wattpad, but like Wattpad just come in so clutch for the hopeless romantic in me, like, and it's super sensual. Anyway, so yeah, I'd recommend Wattpad. That's something to do. They actually have some pretty good authors on there. But yeah, I mean, if Wattpad ever want to sponsor us, I'd read it.
Wattpad times Black Menaces.
I gotta say, just because you said it so casually, but I've been re-listening to the Harry Potter books, right? And Draco Malfoy and Harry Potter having a secret romance is crazy. Because them niggas hate each other. That's wild. Anyway, I just want to point that out. But I like
That's
to
funny.
Wattpad. All right.
The Wattpad girlies know
Done?
what I'm talking about. Like
I'm
Wattpad
so
got
good.
random shit. Random shit.
Okay. Well, hey, want some sexy, steamy Harry Potter romance? Check
Oh
out
my
Wattpad.
god. What is
Travis,
happening?
you got it.
Okay, mine is I don't know, I just have been spending a lot of time in thought recently, and a thought that I had yesterday that I will recommend. Um I don't know how deep I want to go with this, but basically one thing that kind of came across my mind as I kind of navigate my self-worth was like the question of like why can't they love me enough? But then I realized I was like, "Oh, I can love myself enough," and like I can give myself all the time and the energy and the investment that I want to invest into someone else, that I can do that for myself. So like a challenge that I'm taking that someone out there can do with me, I guess, is like investing the time and energy that you eventually hope to invest into someone else, into yourself. So when that person comes and you're ready, and so that you're everything you need to be, and like really practicing self-love in a healthy way. Um, so just being more mindful, like I said earlier, and spending time with yourself and spending time in your thoughts is okay too. My mind tends to wander, and so to like it wanders to like bad thoughts, and so kind of allowing myself to feel the emotions I need to feel. So my recommendation is to allow yourself to spend time with yourself, practice self-love, and to really be mindful of what you say to yourself and to your body, and yeah, to just work on loving yourself in the most authentic way.
Yes. I feel like post grad gave me a lot of time to do that.
Yeah,
And I was
you
like,
can see
"Ooh,
the impact.
I'm really with myself," and like it's an interesting time, and it's a good time for reflection and learning, and much needed.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yeah, I think that's an important step in learning who you are after college. It's definitely a journey.
growth era.
Yes, indeed. Well, all right, I think that's about it for this week. We
Yeah.
appreciate y'all, and we'll catch you next week.
Yes.
Yes.
Love you guys.
The fact that y'all do this
Bye.
every week, I'm tired.